Hey everybody, today I'm reviewing the Obris Morgan Explorer in blasted finish, black dial, and black bezel. Let's get started. Here you can see the packaging it comes in. It comes in a like a pelican style case. Very nice. It's in an orange finish. It comes in a black finish as well. I guess it's just kind of luck of the draw what you get. So mine came in orange. You can see it has a open close valve here on the front for pressure or equalization or whatever. It's got O-ring seals inside. It's got good quality hinges. It's a nice box. Definitely a kind of box you'd want to keep and not just throw away. Double lock here. When you open it, you see it's got egg crate or eggshell or whatever foam on the top and a rubber gasket that goes all the way around and matches with this little raised lip here on the box. So this should actually have a good seal for whatever kind of all-weather duty you want to do with it. You could open it, you could take all the foam out and use it for storage or whatever. Anyway, moving on. This is the documentation that comes with the watch. A manual here and the warranty card. Warranty information, I should say. It's got some stuff you fill out over here. I'm not going to show you that, but it also has just your information on your warranty and a little card here to make you feel special. So, put that aside. Here's the owner's manual. You can see there's the model. Come on, there we go. Yeah, that. Just some information on the watch here, specs, little diagram, and instructions on how to use it. And then just contact information for different countries, dealers, and all that. So that's that. Here is the watch itself. I'll point out that it comes on a little navy blue pillow here. I just it wouldn't fit because I resized the watch already. So that's that. Here's the watch itself. Put that aside for a second. These are my links that I already took out. You get an extra, what am I trying to say here? Extra screw, which I'll explain later. Focus. There we go. Extra screw. A screwdriver, which is, of passable quality. It's okay. And a silicone strap. You get both the metal bracelet and strap with your order. This is an okay strap. It's kind of stiff. It could just be because I haven't really used it. I've only put it on once and wore it around for a day and decided I like the metal bracelet better. But it's a decent strap. It's very large. I would need to cut it down actually, I think, to wear it myself. You can see it's got a stainless steel clasp there, very wide. Yeah, so that's the strap, and there's cutouts right here for all the different accessories and all that. So it's a very nice case. I was very impressed with the presentation. So let's put all that aside and move on to the watch itself. Like I said, this is the Obris Morgan Explorer. I got the bead blasted finish and black dial, black bezel. Along with the bead blasted finish, it's also offered in a brushed bracelet and case finish, and a PVD black finish, and a navy blue dial. So there's in total, I believe there's 6 variations if I'm not mistaken. So just some information on the watch. This watch is 42 millimeters wide, 12 millimeters thick, and 51 millimeters lug to lug. Even though it's only 42 millimeters, it wears larger, probably like a 44 or so, because of the large lug width. My Orient Ray is about the same size. I think it's 41.5, and this is definitely considerably larger when placed side by side. Maybe I'll put a photo up of that later at the end of the video. This uses a Miyota 9015 movement, which is 28,800 VPH, same as 4 Hertz or 8 ticks per second. So it's a nice smooth second hand motion there. This has a sapphire crystal, which is uncommon at this price point, I would say. AR coated on the inside. It has a 120 click stainless steel bezel with a black insert, as you can see. And let's get to some of the more specific stuff on the watch here. You'll see the case. Again, it's bead blasted. Nice, very nice finish. Very even on the whole watch. I was very impressed with it. 51 millimeters, like I said, and it has a nice curve on the case to curve with your wrist, and it's very comfortable in my opinion. It has a 2-atmosphere Helium Escape Velve. Get it to focus there. Come on. I'm trying out a new camera right now and seeing how it compares. It takes a while to focus, but there's this Helium Escape Velve, 2 atmospheres. You can see it has a nice, very large square knurl on the side of the bezel here. Very grippy without looking like too aggressive. It's pretty subtle from the top, you can see, but it helps break up just the flat lines and everything of the case a little bit and makes it a little bit more sporty. There's the crown with the Obris Morgan logo. Get to focus again. Crown with the Obris Morgan logo, nicely engraved. Nice thick knurling on this crown, very grippy, very easy to adjust. It's a screw down crown with double O-rings, very nice. What else about the case? Screw down case back, again the Obris Morgan logo, and it has very, very tiny writing all the way around the sides. I'm not even going to read it because I can't, unless I look at it later. It's a 5-link bracelet, very comfortable bracelet. This was one of the main selling points for me, along with the movement and the crystal. It's very, very flexible, molds to, even with my finger there, you can see it's very nice and comfy. This is the kind of bracelet that just kind of disappears on your wrist. You don't even notice it because it's so comfortable. Never pinches hairs. Just a very nice bracelet. You'll see here it uses screws actually for the links. It's not the little push-out friction pins like normal, which is why that screwdriver is included, so you can adjust it by yourself at home. But be careful. You can see, like on mine, I marred it just a little bit trying to get those screws. The screwdriver is actually almost a little bit too wide, the head, and it's hard to get it just right in the right spot to not scratch it. But overall, it's nice to be able to do it at home by yourself, relatively easy. The clasp here, again, Obris Morgan logo. It's a double safety clasp. It's got the flip-up little piece here and the double button push to open. You'll see it's a milled hinge here, unlike the cheaper stamped ones you see pretty often on the lower price watches. This one is the higher grade, nicer, more precision clasp. It is a nice positive click, you can hear. Never had it open up ever on its own. Very nice quality. It has 3 micro adjustments, which is I think just 1 space less than a whole link, so you can get exactly the fit you want. And I got this to fit very comfortably on my wrist, just right. So that's that. The bracelet, I don't remember the width. I'll put the stats in the comments later, but it's a very nice width for me, at least. Let's go on to the face of the watch here. Again, 120 click, uni-directional bezel. Very nice fit and finish on this. There's pretty much no play at all here in the bezel, on my model at least, my sample. Very nice. Just about the perfect amount of tension. You can barely move it with one finger, but it also stays put. It's not going to move on its own. So that's that. It lines up with the 12-hour marker just right. No complaints at all there. The face, you'll see it has just the standard stick type indices. This uses C1 SuperLuminova in green. The lume on this watch is pretty unremarkable. It's nothing special. It fades pretty quickly. I would say it's usable for an hour tops. You can't even see what time it is on the watch. Pitch black in movie theater by the end of the movie. So not too impressed with that. We'll get to a Loom Shot later. But you'll see up here it says Obris Morgan Explorer 200-meter automatic. You have just hour, minute, and second hands, no date, which is interesting because the 9015 Miyota movement does have a date. They just decided not to use it on this watch. I guess they wanted a cleaner look on the dial, which is okay. I would have preferred to just have a date, since it's already something that they could have included just by making a hole in the face. But to each their own. So I'll show you how to adjust it here. Again, the nice positive knurling on the crown, the screw down crown. So you unscrew the crown, and just in a second it'll pop out. The first position, lets you hand wind the movement. The 9015 movement is a hand wind movement. So you can wind it up either by doing this or just with the motion of your wrist. The 9015 movement is an automatic movement as well, meaning that there's a little counterweight inside of the watch that will spin, as the gravity center of gravity changes in the watch from the movement of your wrist every day. It'll wind it up on its own. But if you haven't worn it very much, or if it's dead, you can wind it like this as well, and it's a nice positive action. So the first click out is your date, which, since this watch has no date, doesn't do anything. It just spins freely. It's just kind of a little quirk of the watch, I guess. The second position out is to adjust your time. The 9015 movement is a hackable movement, which means that the second hand stops when you pull it out to adjust the time. This is found on, mostly on nicer quality movements, and the 9015 movement is a pretty good movement, so it's nice to see that. On some other watches, like my Orient Ray, it's not hackable, meaning that the second hand just keeps going. Basically, that just lets you adjust the time more precisely. So if you're sitting there, you can sit there and watch your cell phone change time with the second hand right at 12, and you can get it just right. So it just lets you adjust it a little bit more precisely. So that's nice to see. Nice positive action on the time adjustment there. Just a little bit of play. You can see that's how much it plays without moving. So there's a little bit, but nothing too bad. So let's put that back in. You just got to find the threads and then screw it all the way down. If you don't screw it down, you won't have any water resistance, so remember that. This is a 200 meter water resistance, so nice, definitely nice to have. And based on the quality, the fit, and the finish of this watch, I absolutely believe that resistance is in fact true. A few things I forgot to mention about the bracelet. It has solid end links, very nice to see, very sturdy, and the attachment points on the case here, they're actually screw bars instead of the little pins, spring bars. So it is screw down, which is another nice feature to see. And you use that same included screwdriver to do that. On my sample here, I noticed that after a few days of wearing it, when I first got it, the screws that attach the bracelet to the case actually ended up being a little bit loose. Thankfully, I noticed it before they fell out or anything, and I lost it. But that's something you should be aware of. I just put a little blue Loctite on there, which is the non-permanent kind, and that helped it, and I've never had any problems since. So that might be something you want to think about if you do purchase this watch. They may have fixed that since, I'm not sure. I had a pretty early sample, I believe. Anyway, this is the Obris Morgan Explorer 200 meter automatic. I'm going to go to a Loom Shot real quick, then we'll come back for some final comments. Alright, I'm here in the dark with the Obris Morgan Explorer, and you can see the loom there. It's already starting to fade. The hour and minute hands and the little pip up here on the bezel are by far the strongest points. The actual dial itself has pretty unremarkable loom. You can see it's already fading. Within a few minutes it'll probably be almost illegible, unless you're in pitch black like this. So, not really that impressive. They could have done a lot better on this, and hopefully on future Obris Morgan watches this will be a little better. This is only their third model they've produced. The Predata, I believe it's called, is coming out pretty soon. It has yet to be seen what that'll look like, but hopefully they'll be able to do a little bit better. So let's get the lights back on and just get some final comments. Alright, just a few things that I wanted to mention before we finish up here. I didn't mention the price yet. I paid $290 for this watch, shipped internationally, and it arrived in very, very quickly, like 3 or 4 days. I was really surprised actually how fast the shipping was. So $290 out the door. I believe the brushed finish is the cheapest at $280, I want to say. I don't really recall off the top of my head. But there's only a small variance between the finishes, depending on what you want. As well, I wanted to point out one of the best features of the 9015 movement is that nice, 4 hertz speed. So you can see this seconds hand how smooth it's sweeping across the dial there. The bracelet, and the crystal were the 3 main selling points of this watch for me. The 9015 movement is still pretty new, so there's not a whole lot of models that are using it. They're still using the older 8000 series movement from Miyota. So this is nice to see a Miyota movement that has a nice fast beat now, along with a date. Hand winding, hackable. It's a great movement. It's keeping very good time for me. I think I'm about maybe negative 4 or 5 seconds a day. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't checked in probably about a month or so. But overall, this watch has been a great buy for me. Very nice fit and finish. Very satisfied. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'm just going to put up a few photos and we'll be done.